thanks for joining. This is part 11, working on an application called Welephant, that's spelled W-Elephant, which is a party planning tool that can be used for White Elephant gift exchange, Secret Santa, and other similar gift exchange events. This is an open source software application. The GitHub Vanderveer/Welephant. And today we are going to focus on, let's see if it's still on my clipboard. I can remember, I don't need to check the clipboard. Participation and assignment. Participation and assignment. And then some other things if we have time, but we probably won't. So this will be, I'm estimating about a 2-hour stream. Do check in later today because I'm planning on doing 2 streams today. Oh yeah, and possibly one tomorrow, we'll see. The playlist is on my YouTube channel. You can see all 10 parts up till now, and then this present video is the 11th video. And where we were at the end of the last video was we had committed and pushed some model updates so that the party entity has a location, an event date, and we also fixed the UI forms so that you could create and edit those fields, and that's where we were at. So what I want to do now is open the pull request. So we have a feature branch. You can see it's number 16, which is the GitHub issue ID. And then there is a brief arbitrary descriptive string related to some of the content of the branch. That's how we name a feature branch. And I pushed this branch up, but I want to incorporate it into the main branch on the repository. So the way I do this is through a pull request. It's named as such because you are asking the main branch to pull your code. That is a git pull, which will essentially merge in and incorporate the changes. Okay, so how did I get here? Basically, I go to the pull request tab on GitHub, and I will go to, sometimes if GitHub is aware that a recent push happened, it will pop up and it will suggest like a quick button that can just generate it in a convenient manner. But if it doesn't do that, this is the sort of like other way. You click the new pull request button, and you see the arrow is basically showing from the branch to main. Like, yeah, I guess the order is a little strange, but I want the main branch to take in my code. So I'm going to put mine over here. And this is the branch I'm on. If there's any doubt about that, you can just hit up your VS Code or your terminal and say git branch. Oops, I spelled branch incorrectly. My bad. And you can see right there, that's the one that I'm on currently. What framework and language? This is TypeScript and the Blitz.js framework. Blitz.js, yeah. You can Google Blitz.js to get to their website. I think it might be blitzjs.com, I'm not sure. And so this will show you the git diff. These are the commits on that branch. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commits. And then I can scroll down further to see the specific lines of code changes. These are all the differences between what's on my branch and what's on main. 1 contributor, that's me. 29 files changed. It gives you some summary information, right? Kind of help you quick check and make sure that you're doing you're submitting the code change that you intended and expected. What I like to do is follow conventional commit. This is like so optional, you don't have to do this, but I like to do, if there was a user story, I'd put it right there. I don't have a user story though, so I'll just go feat for feature and wish list items, link details page. So what this is going to do is, that was one of the many features that happened here. So I'll just say and more. And then we'll just do kind of a bulleted list. So wish list items on the wish list details page are now links, are now clickable links. 2 is updated model, updated party model with location field and more. Updated party create edit pages to support model update. And I did some other stuff too, but those are the highlights. So we'll hit it with that. Boom, create the pull request. Hey, let's get some likes on the page. 100 people, over 100 people and 2 likes. The build is failing, so we're gonna wanna make sure that we fix that. Arguably, I should fix that before I merge it. Let's do that. So in a commercial setting, like these red X's, those are a bad thing. What are you working on? Welephant, Welephant, open source application, check it out on GitHub, Vanderveer/Welephant. This is a React, TypeScript, full stack application. It helps you build like wish lists. There's a 10-part plus YouTube playlist for more background information on YouTube. You can search my same username on YouTube. Okay, so let's right click, open a new tab, check this out. This is Vercel, so we're using Vercel to host and deploy, build, host, and deploy. It does a lot of really cool stuff. It does all the things. It integrates into Git seamlessly, GitHub seamlessly. Big fan of Vercel. Okay, so if we scroll through here, we're gonna see this is just a warning, invalid config, so that's kind of sus, but it's not a huge problem. Pass this test, pass this test. Here we go, failed to compile. And here we go, this is the real problem. Create participant.ts. There appears to be a type error on that file. So let's go fix it. I'm gonna close all of these files. Control P, Control V. By the way, if you search my name on YouTube or Twitch, you can see the full screen. I know it's a little harder to see there on TikTok, isn't it? Okay, so there's not an obvious build problem here from a linting perspective. Unless I'm just missing it. Oh yeah, sorry, I just missed it. It's right there. So participants don't have names. Is that true? Let me Control P. I'm going to see WEL schema. Fuzzy type of schema. Jump over there. Here is the participant entity. And the participant totally does have a name. So what's going on here? So what's going on here is not the fact that there is a name, it's the fact that there are not all the other expected properties. Cool. So what are the other expected properties? Anything that doesn't have a question mark. I'm from TikTok. Haha. Thanks for being here. Oh, and I think on TikTok I have like subscription available now. I don't really know how that works, but I guess in addition to following me, feel free to subscribe. Cool. So we have name, ID created at, updated at. These are for free. I don't need to explicitly pass them. Email is optional. We should arguably add it, but it's optional. Status is there by default, so I don't need to explicitly pass it. Party ID. This is what's really important. You cannot have a participant without a party ID. This is actually the most important problem. It is recorded. I must know, how do you have so much focus and motivation to do this? I don't know. Like, I like my caffeine. I guess that contributes. Sometimes I'm not motivated, right? Sometimes it's just sort of discipline. Part of the motivation here is, as I said, I'm actually going to use this with my family for Christmas, right? So part of the motivation is build things that you're actually like care about and going to use. There's a lot of motivation coming from that. Just put type any. Bro, no way. Some username, I cannot comply. I cannot comply. So we're going to need to identify the party ID, and then optionally I'll pass in the email as well. So here I'll come over here. I'll get rid of the existing to-do because that's boilerplate, it's irrelevant. And I'm going to add my own to-do, which says party ID and optional email. I think that's it. I think that's the whole problem, basically. Cool. So, let me close one of these. I don't need both of these. Okay. I'll leave this open for now. Let's go to have another terminal in the Welephant directory. So this is a multi-root VS Code workspace. Here I will rename this to dev for the dev server, and we will run blitz dev. So this is going to kick off our local development server. You can see it's using Next.js, so Blitz is wrapping Next.js. Here you can check the URL. This is production, welephant.vercel.app. You can go there right now. What are you coding up? We're coding up this bad boy, Welephant. Please don't hate on the art. I didn't draw that. That's AI-generated Christmas elephant. Cool. Going to go to localhost base route. And it looks the same, but it's actually not the same because this is my localhost. What does Next.js do? It helps us build full-stack web applications. So it lets us write only JavaScript and specifically an enhanced form of React or TypeScript. And that will compile into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that's rendered on browsers. But we can do it all in one file. So if I go to one of these pages, and it has like various opinions about like how to structure your files and stuff, which a little bit to learn, a little bit of work to learn, but they're incredibly convenient once you learn them. And the documentation, in my opinion, is really quite good. So here, for example, participants, new. This is going to be a page. And all of the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is all contained in these 55 lines. This connects to the database. It does the whole shebang. It's really impressive if you understand all the things that's going on right here. Do you code with PySpark? No, negative. Twitch is way better to view than TikTok. Yeah, for sure. So our Twitch, a viewer on Twitch is encouraging everyone on TikTok to go over there too, or on YouTube. I think the Twitch video is better than the YouTube video. I'm not really sure why. Like, I think the resolution's better. So what is different from Next.js compared to Webpack M? I think the M is a typo, right? You just mean Webpack? So Webpack is only the build layer. It's not actually a framework. They're really incredibly different. I encourage you to just go to the website. Yeah, so that was just a typo, right? I encourage you to go to their websites and check it out. They're almost not similar at all. Like they're like very not similar. To go through all the differences would take quite a while. So yeah, just check out the websites. And keep in mind that I'm using Blitz.js specifically, which is a wrapper around Next. So you can see right here, Blitz.js/Next. So I'm not just using Next. I have even more tools at my disposal, like the mutation right here. Router's a good one that Next has. Like, there's a million things Next has that Webpack doesn't have, but that's one of them. Their own components, link. Okay, so the issue with Twitch is that it has latency. TikTok does not. Ah, interesting. Okay, cool. So what I'm doing now is I want to make sure that my participant form can support the fields that I need. So right now we have the participant name. I also want to do email, and we also want to do Party. I think I shouldn't need to specify the party. Yeah. So what I want to do is read the party out of the route. So it's going to be like party / participant / new. So let's do that. So we're going to do parties. Then you're going to have a party ID. Then we're going to take participants and put it inside here. Boom. So you actually cannot create an orphan participant, just like a generic participant that has no association to a party. We're just not even going to allow that. Amazing live coding session. Thank you so much. I could also nest these. I guess I will. So we're going to go and nest the components and mutations as well. Why do we do that? The reason is for portability. If I have another application and I want to import the party feature, I want to drag and drop a folder basically. And these are properly tightly coupled, right? So tight coupling in general, we don't like, but sometimes there is proper tight coupling. And in that case, I do want to nest them. All right, so Windows is telling me I can't do that because there's an active process attached. So let me kill my server, and let's try this again. So I'm trying to nest participants inside of parties. The Jexmister says, "Hey John, what's up? What's up? If someone has, I think that should say has, 0 experience, where should he start?" You can check the link in my bio. I have some free and open source stuff, laterally-slides basically on GitHub. There's also free Code Camp. And then if you have a little bit of money, Codecademy is solid. And I'm a big fan of coding boot camps too, although they are more expensive for a good one. Be careful about which one you pick. You need a good coding boot camp. Not all coding boot camps are created equally. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and I'm actually going to close VS Code for some reason. Are you sure you want to close? Move participant is in progress. I'm going to close this. It seems like VS Code is unable to move the folder, so we're going to go into Windows Explorer and manually move the folder. So we're going to GitHub, www.Welephant. We want to nest the pages first of all, so here are the participant pages. Control X, Control V. And now I have the participant pages right here. And we want to do similarly with the application logic. Although it seems like that movement succeeded. So the components, mutations, and queries for participants are already nested under the parties. And so you can see there's this proper coupling where I can't actually have a party without participants. And I can't have a participant that has no party. So really, these are nested features. So that's why we did that nesting. Cool. All right, so the movement is done. I don't know. The VS Code might not have had permission or something. So let's open it back up and refresh the workspace. Cool. So this is going to create referencing problems. There's an update in VS Code. Let's do that later. This is going to create referencing problems because the import, these imports, basically I moved the participants' stuff. So anyone who is importing participant list, for example, the import path is going to be incorrect. So we need to go update those. So you can see already, get participants is incorrect. So let's do /parties, right? Save that. And now it works because we nested it under the parties folder. Does that make sense? All right, thanks for the likes. We're over 500 already. Let's get to 1,000. Quick reminder, if you go over to YouTube or Twitch, you can see the full screen. Okay. So now that we have this nesting, participants is under a particular party ID. So, oh, did I screw that up? Dang, I screwed that up. I want it to be under a particular party ID. So it needs to go in there, actually. Okay, did it work? Yo, VS Code moving folders is like apparently a O of n squared operation. Like, what's going on? I'm going to close this again. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go back to pages. So we have parties, party ID, and participants. So it did move. It's like, for whatever reason, VS Code like file explorer is like gets out of sync or something. The point is that when I go to create a new participant, I immediately already know which party. So I don't need to create a form field where the user like inputs, like picks the party. Like, we already know which party. What language are you using? TypeScript. What are you building? I came in late. It's Welephant. Welephant. Check it out. Open source party planning application tool. Check the README for more details. Oh, we're already over 1,000 likes. Do you know what you're doing? Most days. How about you? Cool. So we go to parties, party ID, participants, new. So this is the page where we will create a new participant for a given party. Okay. So we're going to, we don't need that comment there. Here's the participant ID. Participant is of type unknown. It should not be. Ah, that's because the reference is broken. Remember, we put participants under parties. So we're fixing the imports. All right, cool. Yeah. So here's the participant mutation. And we are going to pass in, yes, the name, also the email optionally, and then we need the party ID, right? I like to keep these alphabetical. So here's email, and then we'll say that's optional. Here is LMNOP. I guess party ID should come after name. Party ID, and that will be a number. Never. That's hilarious. How long did it take to get a PhD in Python? Well, I got my PhD. It took about 7 years. And I used Python, but my PhD is in economics. So I've actually never gotten a computer science related degree. Okay, so here's party ID. And you can see it flowed right through. There's party ID and email, and optional email. So I can get rid of that to do. Boom. And look, the data input error is already fixed. Cool. That fixed create for delete. I guess that's fine. Whatever. For update. We're going to want to have email here as well. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. This is the participant ID, so that we know which one we're updating, right? That's not to be confused with the party ID. That's why we love the prefix there. and it seems to otherwise flow through just fine. The data just flows through. We can see that in the types. This is why we love TypeScript, y'all. Good combo, thanks so much. We're using Stata or SQL while getting your degree. Python good for all that data when dealing with economics. Yep, for sure. Yeah, I did a bunch of Stata too, but eventually you realize that Python is better, unless you have like certain really specific things that Stata is optimized for. And there's not a lot of those things. Okay, so I think those collection of errors are now fixed, but let's visit the other pages that we moved around to make sure that we didn't break references, imports basically, because we did. So we need to fix those. So this feature is basically, we could, from a conventional commit perspective, mark this as a fix because we're fixing the build error, right? But if something is new feature and a win, or like if something is a new feature and a fix, if it's both, I like to take the win and call it a feature enhancement. And so while this is a build fix, it is also a feature enhancement of nesting the participant entity under the party entity. And so when I do my conventional commit message, it's going to end up saying feat, nested participant, and then I'll break a couple lines and I'll say and build fix. Does that make sense? Okay, so parties are good, so the pages are good. We're also going to do a functional test before we try to ship this. And like in a commercial setting, you would want to write a unit test. I'm not going to do that, but I will do a functional test. Oh, got a bunch of follows, y'all. Thanks. So we got Sawman, Benny Blue, BGB, Marketoni, Leo. Sorry if I'm butchering your names. Poppy Sensei is back. What up, what up? Over 1,500 likes. Quick reminder, if you go over to Twitch or YouTube, you can see the full screen. Also, my 10-part plus playlist about this application from start to finish is on YouTube. Okay, so the mutations are looking good. How about the queries? This is just a boilerplate to do that Blitz ships. I'm going to get rid of that. This accepts option. That's actually a useful comment because I think this is a complicated Zod. That's a complicated Zod, so I'm going to leave that comment there. Get participant, get participants, plural. Okay. Looks good to me. Cool. So the components and the mutation. Oh, I didn't check the component. Okay. Right. So this is the last bit. So we needed the name, the email, and the party ID. But due to the restructuring, we don't need a field for the party. The user will not have to select which party. We are just going to know because it's in the route. So I need to do two things here. First, I need to complete the email implementation. Okay. Cool. So there is name and email. This is creating a participant. How many years did it take to reach this level of coding? I've been coding like 10 years. Yeah, hey, I was at the gym earlier today, and there was a younger guy, and he was like not lifting much weight, right? And then I lift a bunch of weight, and then he looks kind of like sad or something. Yo, don't compare yourself to people that have been doing this for years. Like, y'all can do this too. It just takes time. So get in there, dude. Let me know if I can help. No one is going to expect you to be able to do all this if you're like a junior programmer. That would be obscene. Okay. So the form looks good in my opinion. I need to make sure that we are passing the information from the router into the mutation. So the mutation looks good, but who is using the mutation is the party page. So let's go over to the party page. And we are under a specific party ID, and then we are creating a new participant. Okay? And what we did previously is we ensured that this page is error-free. There are no build-breaking link errors. However, that doesn't mean that it's logically correct. This page is logically incomplete. If I control-click Create Participant, we have said, you are going to receive the party ID. But if we look at what we actually did, we never gave it the party ID. Do you do Kotlin also? I'm a noob with Kotlin. I mean, I've done it, but I'm a noob with it. It was like I liked it though. Where should I start if I want to learn Python? I really don't know. I mean, I'll encourage you to check out Codecademy, but I'm pretty sure they're not the world's best place to learn Python, but they're a recognized brand. I think if you can find a prestigious coding bootcamp, that's what I would actually recommend. Is CSS a language? It's a DSL. It's a domain-specific language. It's not a Turing-complete programming language. A little secret, senior devs don't know it all. It's impossible. Agree with that. 1000% agree with that. Cool. So we are basically going to extract and insert. We're going to extract and insert. So you see we got this router. I think that's how we do it. I might need to check the docs, but let's see. So we're gonna look for the party ID, router dot, and you can see IntelliSense is helping me. I think it's somewhere on here. Replace, reload. I'm looking for either like a get param or query maybe? Maybe it's query. Routes, router.routes. Could be a search. Returns primitive value of the specified object. No, that's not what I want. Tra-la-la. Okay, so I think I don't want this route object. Let's go back. Yeah, I don't want this, sorry. I think it might be use params. Although I thought I could get params out of the router. Let's see if I can import use params. Yeah, okay, so it's a different hook. I thought I could just do like router.params. Can I not do that? Router.p. Get. Okay, I think it's possible, but I guess it's like kind of hacky because it's not, there's not a first class support, there's not a clear method on the object itself. How do you fry a router? I don't know, is that a joke? What do we have going on here, high level? We're making a party planning application that'll help you like make and share wish lists in an anonymous way. So I can shop for you, but you don't know I'm shopping for you, but I'm still getting things you actually want because I saw your wish list anonymously. Does that make sense? Okay, so we got params. I'm gonna blitz. I'm gonna blitz Prisma generate, and what I'm hoping here is that my route, because I moved the folder around, so I think I need to regenerate my type definition. Okay, no, I didn't want to do that. Let's see. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Let's check if I can just generate routes. No. Don't want to do that. Blitz Prisma generate. Is it not? Blitz Prisma generate. Okay. So let me go to the routes. Here's routes. These are the different pages. And now I'm on the participants page, route URL object, participant query input. And does it know the party ID already? It doesn't know it there. Okay, so we'll do it this way. I feel like Blitz should be able to do a strong type here. Instead of having to say it could be undefined, it should know that it's not undefined. I'm going to parse int because it should be a number. We'll use base 10 for the parsing. So here is, and I will give it a or empty string so that it's, let's see, where are you at here? Argument of type string or string array. It should definitely not be a string array. So I will say array.isArray. I'll check if it's an array. Let's do a question mark. And I will do 1 or 2. This is a stub just so I can increment on the method. Okay. So here we've done array.isArray 1 or 2. So this is a ternary operation. We're checking if this is an array. In this case, it is an array. So party ID, we will say, I'll make it NaN. Argument of type number is not assignable to parameter of type string. Okay, because parse int wants a string input. So I'll make it an empty string, which is ultimately going to become NaN over there. And in this case, it's a string, so I can just return party ID. It might still be undefined. So you can see the type checker is helping me. The better way to do this, instead of saying, is it undefined, is it an array, I just want to know, is it a string? I want to know if the type of is a string. Okay? So if yes, then we will pass it to the parse int, and if not, we will pass the empty string to the parse int. Okay. And now we're guaranteed that this is going to be a number. You can access params from use router, i.e. const part ID use under router.query. Okay, it's under query, right? That sounds good. Is it going to give me the correct type? So this is coming out of the parse URL, and what I want to parse is party ID. Parsed URL query has no signatures. So it's a parsed URL query, but is it context aware, basically? Yeah, see, IntelliSense doesn't know, it's not context aware of the type definition. So I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So I'll just keep it using the use params. Thank you for the note, though. Just add plus in front so it's always a number. Yo, no way. That's so dangerous. Got a bunch of follows. Thank you all so much. Omar Ghoul, hey, long time no see. Good to see you here. Make sure to smash like, share the video with anyone who you know that cares about programming. If you cares about programming, then follow the channel, and I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so we know that party ID is a number. And what I want to do now is I want to say, I want to know, is it NaN? If it's NaN, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to return, I can stub it with null, but I really shouldn't return null. What I should return, I should either give them an error view or redirect them to like the home page or something. I don't understand anything about this, but I'm just here watching. Hey, that's dope. I just started school for IT. Congratulations. Quick reminder, if you go to YouTube or Twitch, you can see the whole screen. Need an ID to get in this party? I don't know, but that kind of blows. The person doesn't need to be aware of the ID. It's just the database is going to use it to track them. Like if you say, hey, I'm Jim, that doesn't mean anything to the computer, so the computer needs an ID. But all you really need is, you just need a human body. So if you got one of those, I think you're good. But I don't know. All I know is that you're a Twitch user, so you could be a bot, huh? So maybe you're not invited to my party. Okay, so here's the party ID. I think I'll just redirect them. So I'm not even going to do a ternary return. Let me Control Z. I'm not even going to do a ternary return. I'm just going to do an if block. And you can see that is a pseudocode, isn't it? Okay. Now I'm going to check the docs. Blitz.js redirect. Blitz.js.com. Bro, you should use trpc. Hey, Omar. Blitz RPC is almost exactly the same as trpc. In fact, Blitz might integrate trpc. That is something they have an RFP on that on their GitHub. I really hope they do. I think that would be great. Omar, you must be a Theo fan. Hey, we love Theo fans over here. I'm a Theo fan. Okay, cool. So I'm going to search and I'm going to say redirect. Redirects. Oh, isn't that ironic? The documentation redirects page could not be found. I'm dead. That's pretty funny. I think we got about an hour to go on this stream. T3 stack. T3 stack is cool. I do prefer Blitz, but T3 stack is cool. It's not the same as trpc right now. It's super similar. Yeah, they're not the same. It's super similar though. It's the same RPC pattern. Like they're following the same abstract pattern. They're just like different implementations. And as I said, they might actually end up using each other. Blitz has too much vendor lock. Boo, I have no idea what you're talking about. Totally disagree. Okay. I want to find redirects, but I can't use the search bar because it's broken. So where would the redirects be? If I was a redirect, where would I be? Maybe under the tutorial or the learning path? Wow. How are redirects broken right now? Maybe one of these subpages would work. Boo. Here's another thing I can do, is the Google site operator. Being a developer, you gotta know how to Google, don't you? So I can use the site operator. This will limit my Google search to blitz.js.com, and I will look for redirect. Here's an authorization page that could help us internationalized routing and error handling. I think all of these would be helpful. All of these would be helpful. Cool, so you can just use the Google site operator. Never in my life did I think I would see Jacob Evans on TikTok. Oh, who's Jacob Evans? I don't know. Leslie, happy Saturday. What up, what up? Thanks for being here. We got a bunch of cool people in the chat. I'm glad y'all are here. Hey, quick reminder, if you go over to YouTube or Twitch, you can see the whole screen. So, Control F, RID, and we can see, boom, I got some, this is the authentication-based redirection, which is not what I want to do. The person who comes here, well, it's true they should not be able to create a participant if they're not logged in, but I think that's already handled. Authenticate equals true. So I think that's already handled. It doesn't solve my use case. My use case is you're legit, you're logged in, you have permissions, but I don't have a party ID. This routes.home thing is what I want. Do I just invoke it like a function? Okay, I can try that. We'll see. Maybe that's the right thing to do, but I thought there was like some sort of redirect kind of thing. So let's read a bit more. You can use redirects to and from a login page. We recommend use error boundaries. Okay, fair enough. This is if I want them to stay on the page, and I don't. Use session. Okay, this is all cool, but it's not what I want. It's okay. This is a bunch of authorization stuff. So I think we already got through what it had to offer in terms of redirecting. I know, I understand this redirection pattern. This is the like static redirection pattern. I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm looking for. I want a dynamic redirect. I could just use like window.location. Feels kind of jank, but maybe that's the right thing to do. Ah, router push. This is what I want. This is what I want. Okay, cool. Yeah, that jogs my memory. This is what I really want to do. Router.push, and then maybe I can use routes.home right here. And I'll leave a little note in case it's confusing, like there's no party ID, so you send them home. What? Kotlin, nope, this is TypeScript. Prisma, let's go. Yep, we're using Prisma. Sick ORM. I love it, I love it. What do you think about PHP? PHP's mid. It's if you use Laravel, it's mid. If you don't use Laravel, it's terrible. So definitely do use Laravel, but then like you could be using Blitz instead of Laravel and your life would be better. But that's my thoughts on PHP. Couple hundred viewers, that's great. Love that. Isn't TypeScript kind of like JS? Yes, it is. It's JavaScript with types. Okay, so this is a thing, but it don't work like that. What's the deal? Maybe it's like that. Can I do that? Is that a thing? I want to see if this works. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, though. Oh, no, it's mad about this. What it wants a URL input. Let's go check that out. What is it talking about? What is this URL type? It's a URL object or a string. Okay, so stop being mad that I'm using a string. So this is returning a route URL object. And then I can get the path name as a string. Yeah, I don't know why bro is mad over here. Oh, because I need to await it. Okay. And then you're mad because it needs to be an async component. I get it. Okay, but now I need to make sure that I have a suspense wrapper. Okay, that's what was going on. How do you know what to look for? A lot of it's experience. You can check out my TikTok. I just posted like 11 debugging strategies. It's like, I think, my most recent video. So types are a general strategy. Elimination-based debugging is a strategy. Just experience and knowing the various properties that exist on different objects. Reading log messages. You can see my linter was telling me. Switch to Twitch. The TikTok messaging is weird. Cool. Hey, thank you for being here. Good to see you. So you see the red squiggles right here? This is called a lint error, and it's specifically coming from ESLint. I don't know if you can see that over there. So this is how I know what to look for. My IDE is telling me bro, there's a problem here. And it even spells it out pretty clearly. That's one of the things I love about the React ecosystem in particular, is that a lot of the messaging is really great at the linting layer and at the React. React itself provides pretty good errors. Yeah, I found you on Twitter. We are not on Twitter mutuals. I'll have to go follow you. Thanks for the follow. I'll check you out after the stream. Omar says, I love React. Cool. Popular here tonight. Where are you at where it's night? This is the middle of the afternoon. Owls, okay. We are now, that's great. Okay, so this is working, but I need to make sure that I have my suspense wrapper. Because now that it's async, bad things could happen. So I'm going over to my homepage because I know that my homepage has a suspense wrapper basically, and I want to copy that pattern. Here's the app TSX, and here we can see root error fallback. So this is a fallback block, and this is what I mean by a suspense wrapper. I think it is. Hold on, it might not be. Nope, I'm expecting a suspense literal block. Let me Control-Shift-F, left angle, suspense. I could just search for sus. And it's not working. Man, the VS Code search all on Windows with a multi-root, it's not really great. You don't have alerts and whatnot set up for followers. I'm a terrible streamer. Yeah, I would love your advice there, but I don't have the stuff set up. Sorry. Here's an index page. This is a layout block. Again, I'm looking for a suspense block. Okay, here's a suspense block. And now it's in my VS Code cache. So now it'll be like, oh, I told you it was there. No, you didn't tell me it was there till now. VS Code, you're being bad. Okay, so this whole thing, this is like a big suspense wrapper. So I was gonna just copy and paste the whole wrapper pattern, but that feels like too much. I guess I'll go ahead and do it. All right, so I'm going to collapse this and copy the whole 150 lines or so, but I'm going to just delete most of it. So 1, 2, 3, paste. Okay, and so this will also be a page. Yeah. I'm going to trim out, so we're going to leave the layout block. I guess I'll leave the container block, and I'll get rid of a lot of this. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. I really just want the suspense piece. I'll keep the wrapping div as well. Boom, there go 50 lines. Boom, 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 taking them down. No worries, we can chat later on Discord or Twitter. That's awesome, thank you so much. Cool. So this is like the thin wrapper that I had in mind. NASA is not that different. Fix the imports. VS Code caching issue might be related to MingW, Eclipse, or IntelliJ. This is VS Code. It's not Eclipse or IntelliJ. Download TikTok Live Studio if you want to stream. That's probably a good idea, right? I thought I did not have... So I do like multi-streaming, and like TikTok won't let me right now, is my current understanding. But if there's a way around that, let me know. Okay, so we imported Blitz page from Blitz next module. I'm going to Control Shift and F and make sure that this is the same one the reference code uses. Confirmed. Looks good to me. Okay. So now we have a page here, and this is going to be the next participant page. And then I will call this suspense wrapper. Okay. The suspense wrapper is the level that I want to implement the authentication gate. And then here is suspense literal from React. And then we are not wrapping a user info object, we are wrapping the new participant page. And what this does is this enables us to leverage the async keyword safely. That was the point of all that. What language? TypeScript. And if it does, so here, this kind of looks like JavaScript. So TypeScript is just a superset of JavaScript with types built in. But much of the time, I would say over half the time, the types flow through automatically, so I can hover and I can see a strong type, but I don't have to manually specify. In particular, when I'm using Blitz, it generates this Prisma client. So it generates the types from me, or like for me, from my schema file. So you can see I just have this concise syntax. Like if you've ever written Java, like compare this to your model implementation in Java. Like this is like fantastic. And not to mention these are like intersection relations and optionals and date handling with defaults and auto increments, like all kinds of stuff, and then unique hashing. Like if you're a Java developer, this should blow your mind. So we out here doing this, and Prisma will generate strong types in my programming language from that, and it will also align that to my database. This is why it's so powerful. It's keeping my database schema aligned with my code types for free. Where, again, like in a lot of other frameworks, you'll have to manually align that stuff, and you can have synchronization errors. It's super annoying. Since you want to do multiple streaming, check out StreamChamp. I will check it out. Thanks for the suggestion. How did you learn to code? I taught myself. Originally, I built some WordPress websites for a job that I was on. Basically, we were thinking about hiring an external contractor, and we're going to pay him a lot of money. And I said, hey, like, if it's worth that much money to build a website, why don't you let me try it? I had previously had my own WordPress blog, and I thought, well, like, they kind of just want a blog with some extra bells and whistles, was my mental model at the time. Anyway, so I got started building WordPress websites, and then took off from there. You know, people would want more and more custom websites, and then all of a sudden you're building like custom websites, and then you just get into web development. Okay. New participant page cannot be used as a JSX element. It returns a promise type. Boo. So why did I think I could do this? I thought I could do this because I had suspense, which would handle the promise. But it doesn't want to handle the promise. Let me try this without a suspense wrapper at all. I mean, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try, is not using a suspense wrapper at all. Let me go back to my reference code. So here's the home page, which I was using for reference. And the user info component is the child component. Yeah, it's not declared async. So, but it does use these mutations. So I think that's the key difference with suspense. I don't think actually async await is the key difference in this framework. Cool. So let me try commenting all that. And basically just keeping it simple. And let's see if it still works. Hopefully it'll work. So we'll test this out functionally. Blitz dev will kick off the server. Ayo, is this React? Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is Blitz.js, which is a wrapper around Next.js, which is a framework on top of React. So when you look down here, like a lot of this is JSX, which is basically React. A lot of these tools, like I'm not technically, like use params, use router, they're not actually like the React hooks, but they're like, it's the same ecosystem. Cool, so we refresh the page. JSX, yeah, JSX is a JavaScript XML syntax. So it lets you write HTML in your JavaScript file, basically. It technically is JavaScript, but it looks like HTML. It's an HTML-like syntax, or an XML-like syntax. Cool, so we're already logged in. And what do we want to do? We want to go to parties. And what I'm trying to get to is the new participant page. So we're going to go over here to John's coding party. And then I should have a button here, which is like create participant. I'm going to manually manipulate the route right now. And I'm going to say participants. New. Let me just go to participants, the root, the index of participants. You see I have a create participant button. Oh no, busted. The provided href is missing query values, party ID, to be interpolated properly. Okay. This is a great error. This is, yeah. So if I go to, errors are your friend, y'all. I know if you're a junior, errors can be scary, but literally, errors are your friend. They're telling you things and they're helping you. So I went to this index file of the participants page, participants under the party, and I clicked create new, create. I clicked to create a participant, and this busted. This busted. So what I need to do is pass in a party ID. So all I got to do is get the party ID. The same way we did previously. Right here. I'm going to drop it under the existing logic. I'm actually going to hoist params. So here's party ID, and then we can handle no party ID right there. But let's assume that we have a party ID. Actually, it should go over here. I put it in the wrong place. My bad. Cannot find name party ID. I know, because I put the stuff in the wrong place. Because I'm dumb. Because I'm dumb. If you thought you had to be smart to be a programmer, think again. You can totally be dumb and still get a full-time software engineering role. Okay, number is not assignable to number or not number, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What is it wanting? Like, what? New participant page. Okay, I need to put it under the query, is that right? Participant ID, show participant. I want new participant page. Okay, so maybe I just need this like query object. Maybe that's the problem. Does that work, or do I need to use the query keyword? Let's see. Guess and check is a key developer skill, y'all. If you're copy pasting your code, it's time to write a function so you don't have to update 2 spots. Scuba Steve is right. Yeah, that place where I said to do, handle that the party ID like doesn't exist or whatever, we're going to definitely extract that as a common function. Objects are not valid as a React child. Yeah. Cool, so this is what I was worried about. This is why I constructed, I mean, the good thing is the route worked. This is why I constructed the suspense block though. So it seems like the suspense block doesn't work, and using the async block literal also doesn't work. So what we're gonna have to do is something like a use effect pattern. Okay. I don't think there's any dependencies here. Well, okay, we can put the dependency as the party ID as a dependency. That's fine. And so we'll put this, when we use the await keyword, we'll put it under this. And then this part will be async. So we have a parent component that's not async, and then we have a parent component that's not async, but it's invoking an async side effect. Argument of type, function that returns a promise, is not assignable. Async function, like what? Async function fetch data. Oh, okay. So I need to define an internal function here. So this will be const redirect is a function with no arguments, and it's going to execute this logic. And so we will return redirect. Okay, and redirect itself is an async function. Type is not assignable to type void or destructor. Let me not return it then. Okay. Promises must be awaited, and with a catch and with a call to or redirection. What? Something is going wrong. John Kovacs says, hello. Hey, how's it going? That promises await, is that a lending rule? Is that a linting rule? Yeah, it's a linting rule. Looks like some people are chatting about Angular down there. Hey, we almost have 2,500 likes. That's great. You don't need to call the function. It's just an argument. We definitely need to call the function. We need to invoke this logic right here. So why does it matter about this? An array that returns a void promise is not assignable to effect callback. Okay, so it doesn't want us to use a top level async. That's fine. So we don't use a top level async. And then, but now I can't await down here. And now you're mad that I am not awaiting the promise. Well, this is exactly how side effects work, bro. Promises must be awaited. So I'm going to check how long time you created the program. I've been working on this for, I don't know, a couple months. Blitz.js, redirect, yeah. We were just reading about it in the docs, so let's see how they do it. Something about France or something. Right here, right? Okay, so they're doing an on-click. And this is fine because it's kind of like in an HTML context. It's effectively already an async context. So I think this is the wrong thing to do, basically, in my use case. I thought that was the right thing to do, but I guess it's not. I follow your GitHub and your Twitter. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so maybe we don't want to await router push. Let's check out this router, use router. Here's the singleton router base. Here's a router, base path. I'm wondering if I should use a different method on here. No, I think router push is the right thing to do. Let me look if I'm using this anywhere else. You're programming just a web page, or you know robot move code created. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't think we want to do replace. Yeah. I'm not even sure replace will actually execute a user navigation. It might just change the URL in place without navigating, which is not what I want. Okay, so here is the way they do it. Router push, handle click, they're handling a click. Really, you live in Washington, DC? I live near it. I live in Northern Virginia. So these are all basically in an HTML context, which is effectively async. So let me look for Next.js redirects. Okay. These are like static redirects. Inside API routes, I'm not inside an API route. You can redirect specific pages at request time. I mean, I could do this. I could like return or redirect. I feel like this is like not a good idea. Right? Yeah, I'm just trying to do something like this. The push method, don't return a promise. Don't await it. It does though. I mean, we could do a catch. I mean, I guess that's fine. All right. Okay. It feels like I shouldn't need to do that, but I guess maybe it's like a good idea. It's fine. You're trying to call a function in the middle of passing arguments to use effect. It's not recursive. That's not how use effect works. So it's mad if I await it, is that true? Yeah, it doesn't want me to await it. That's really throwing me. Okay, I guess I'm just not used to not being allowed to use an async method here. Or I'm really not used to catching this. I think that's the thing. I'm really not used to catching here. Async in use effect is not good, right? How do you fetch data in use effect? How can you do that without being async? Yeah. So this is like the normal way to do things. And then here's a slightly more advanced way to do it. Blitz was mad that I didn't have a catch on this. So, and I think I'm not used to implementing a catch there. Yeah, this tutorial, for example, he never catches it. So I think I don't know, maybe that's one of those things that like Blitz is like helping you be a better developer, because we're all used to not catching here, but like, I guess it's safer to catch here. Like, what language is this? TypeScript. Just put redirect in the dependency array. Huh? Why? No, redirect should not go in the dependency array. It's not redirect is interior to useEffect, so there's no way that useEffect can depend on redirect. That would be a circular dependency. So useEffect dependencies need to be external dependencies, namely these guys. I could put params there. Yeah, if I put params there, then I don't need to also have party ID there. So I write message Pentagon CIA in mini security group. That's kind of sus. You can also do redirect.catch. I'm confused because that's what I did, right? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, are you just saying like without the useEffect? Is that your point? Here, let's see if I can do that. Let's see, would this be a better idea? I don't really like this. It might work, I'm not sure, but I don't really like this because this is a side effect. So I feel like my side effects should go inside of the useEffect block. That really is my only reason for doing that. I don't know, it might be fine either way. What language is this? TypeScript. Okay, so let's go check this out now. So we want to create a new participant. Look, the page is working. That's great. Let's go back. We'll hit the back button. I'm going to refresh here. So remember, we tried to create a participant and the world broke. Now the world didn't break. That's great. My participant is under the party, so the party should be implied. I'm going to open DevTools, so if it fails, we can get the error logged. Hopefully it doesn't fail. I need to have this same logic. Yeah, I need to extract. Ooh, this should be like a generic hook, shouldn't it? So handle missing party ID. This would be like a custom hook, actually. I would rather duplicate use effect. So I could have a custom hook, but I'd rather duplicate use effect and then just dry up this part. So we'll be like not 100% dry, but I think that's okay. So here we'll do const handle missing party ID. Promises must be awaited. Cool. So now we have this handle missing party ID. Oh, next router is not assignable to router. Oops. What is this kind of router? It is a next router. Oh, did you mean type of router? Yeah, I did. So what is the type of router? Oh. It's next router, right? Okay, all right, so I said router, I should have said next router. Okay, and then we want to export this so that we can reuse it in the, so this is the create page, and we also want to fix the index page. Handle no party ID. Oh, okay, so that should be handled later. Let's see, I can get params right now. Can I get the router right now? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that'll work. We'll try it. So this is the index page. Let's go back to the index once again. So we go to parties, John's coding party, and we want to do participants. And that throws, yeah. What are you coding? We're coding Welephant, W-Elephant. You can go to GitHub and search for that. And this is a party planning tool. So you make wish lists and invite a bunch of people. And then I can shop for you anonymously. You don't know that I'm shopping for you, but I'm still getting things that are actually on your wish list and you actually want them. Okay, so this kind of stuff basically can't go here. And that's okay. So we'll just grab it and move it. Let's see. We might need to move this link inside of the participants list, which would be kind of lame, but like maybe we need to. Let's see, if I didn't use the router, it was working fine, wasn't it? Let me cancel that. So we got our parties, John's coding party, and then manually to participants. And this worked fine. We could validate on click. That's one thing we could do. What if I do one of these? Foo. And then I click it, and then see I get this runtime error. This is what I'm really trying to avoid. Yeah, I think we basically need to well, let's give it an on click, right? So instead of the handle missing party ID, handle missing party ID inside of a use effect block, we will try to do it here. Okay, and that was the kind of like happy path, and now let's do a foo. That why did that not create an issue? Okay, so it's still through a runtime error. Are you coding in Python? No. This is TypeScript. Loud keyword, yep. Is new participant page checking if the party ID exists or not? Internally, it does. However, you get a runtime error even trying to go there with an invalid ID. Pass href true to link. Is it worth it learning how to code? Yeah, I definitely think so. Good questions. Thanks for being here, y'all. Hey, why don't you tap the like button? Quick reminder, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch, search my same username, and see the full screen. Let me do a debugger. And let's see if I can, yeah, so this runtime error happens even before, basically like the on click is not clicking before the href. So I can take the href off. try this. href expects a string or object, but got undefined instead. Use the on click down. Maybe. I feel like we're getting hacky at this point. Ideally, if the page is invalid, they don't even see this page. Okay, so at this point, let's see, the purpose of the suspense block is to allow the async logic here to go through. I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to have another suspense block. And this will be the participant, create participant button. And the fallback will, but it will fall back to also saying create participant. It just won't have a link. I guess let's not make it a link by default then. So let me get a span by default. And really, I don't need to use that syntax. I can arrow right at the layout in this case. It's React, yeah, pretty much. Thanks for the follows. Is this C++? So this is TypeScript is the programming language, and then React is the rendering library. Next.js is the full stack framework. Blitz.js is the higher order full stack framework. Y'all ever use MyThrill? I have not. If no party, no link show up. Yeah, I want there to be if no party, you just don't even see the page. You get redirected to the home. That's the idea. Okay, so now that we are over here, let's return to the use effect pattern. I'm going to leave the debugger in for now. Const handle new. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay. And we don't want this on click anymore. Okay, I think this is basically what I'm planning. So let's go see how that works. So basically we're going to hydrate a span. Oh, look at that. We caught the debugger. So that appears to be working. Hydration failed because the initial UI does not match what was rendered on the server. I think that's just because I had a debugger in. Let's do this again. So comment the debugger and let's go through there. What is going on? We are building Welephant. Any advice for a new intern? Are you a software engineering intern? Yeah, my advice is basically be ready to pass a junior level interview. It's TypeScript Next.js, yeah. How long did it take you to learn this? I learned Blitz in about, I guess, a year, but I've been programming for like 10 years. To the intern who asked about advice, I said, like, be prepared to pass a junior level interview. Specifically, check out my 5 to 23 patterns article, which will help you right size your data structure and algorithm skills. So check this out. Also, so this will be, part of your interview, and then also behavioral, like figure out how to pass a behavioral interview. And that'll pretty much get you there. You can add a portfolio on top if you want to, that'll be great, but really those are the two things you need. It's actually hard because I want to become a software engineer. Yeah, just check my link in my bio and we can book a call. I can help you with that. What companies have you worked for? I've worked for Blue Cross, College Board, some defense contractors that you probably don't know, SAIC. I've worked for Amazon. Those are some of the names. Capital One, those are some of the names. Cool. So we're going to go to parties. We're going to go to this and then manipulate the routes. Participants. And, ooh, we got redirected on the happy path. That's bad news, Bears. So we did not get a hydration error this time. Handle missing party ID. Yeah, why did it do that? Let's log the party ID. And then we'll come over here and log it again. Maybe it's like stringified. Maybe that's the, I don't know why that would be. It's parsed. So if it's a string, otherwise that. Okay, let's test. I'm going to check preserve log on in DevTools. What is the handle function doing? It's making sure that you don't have a bogus party ID. Was it hard when you first started coding? Absolutely. It's still hard. But hard compared to what? I mean, it's a lot easier than being broke. Okay, so it really goofed up and it said NAN. So it's truly reading NAN somehow. Okay, let's put the debugger back. So logically, it's working. Are you more back-end or front-end oriented? I mean, my day job is like all back-end. I personally really enjoy both. I like to be like a true full stack, but people don't let me do that, so I have to do like front-end stuff on my own time. Okay, so it's already not a number, right? Yeah, but what is params? Params is not defined. Well, params is right here, buddy, so you should define it. Okay, so it wasn't hydrated. And what is router? Router's here. We do the router query thing. Router components, what is this? That's weird. Cool. So that's not doing what I want. Okay. So basically, we're not reading the param correctly. Let me put params in here. So params was not getting hydrated on the client side. The server was like keeping it server side only. And now it wants params to be over here. Fine. I'm going to replace party ID because if we update on params, then we also update on party ID. It wants them to be both. That's kind of annoying, but okay. It's technically redundant, but I guess it's explicit, so that's fine. Is Next.js including React? Yes, it does. Using Stack Overflow help debug errors every day. Every day, right? Hey, we got over 500 people here. Thanks for being here. Smash a like if you're enjoying it. You can go over to YouTube or Twitch, search for my username, John Vandeveer, and you can see the full screen. I also have a 10-part video series building this app from start to finish. So this time I expect we do have params. There it is, but it's empty. I did not expect that. Why is params empty? Okay, so let me Google Next.js get path variable. And maybe I should be searching Blitz.js. Oh. Well, it says you can use it with request.query. This is for an API route. Okay, we're not using an API route. Here, it pulls it out this way. This seems correct. Okay, the reason I avoided this previously was because I thought it was 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Apparently it's not. Apparently it's like 12 of one, and otherwise you die. Let's go for the router. I do have the router. I'm going to router.query. We're going to look for party ID. And it's not there. Router.query is not a function. Is it an object? Router.query object is also is also sort of empty. So maybe it's only available on the server side, huh? Here's the party ID. That's what we're trying to get. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to call it foo, and this is going to be router.query. We'll just do it like that. Let's name this one to foo, and then we can read party ID out this way. Party ID. Argument of type whatever is not assignable to number. Like, I don't care. Okay, I'll put foo there. That's fine. And then you want foo named. Okay. And then, fine. Everybody wants foo. Participant.id. Why is this one Matt? Did I change participant? All right. So let's try it all again. Do you teach coding? Yeah, I sure do. All right. So we go over here. And now we're in the debugger once again. And what values do we have this time? I got foo. Foo is what I want. Params is empty. Party ID is empty. Foo is not a number. This is sus, right? It was logged as a number. Why is it not a number now? Okay. It's like sometimes a number? Bro, what? How is it sometimes a number? Okay, it's getting called twice. It's getting called twice. Okay, so it must be getting called a second time after hydration. Okay, so that's the issue, is that it's a two-stage hydration. How can I see the full screen? Go over to YouTube or Twitch. You are directly passing food. Duh. The interesting thing is, like, how are you saying duh right now? Foo is not a number. Now foo is 1. The interesting thing is not that foo's here. The interesting thing is, how did it get to be 1? It is not a two-stage hydration. School me. Why is it logging twice then? And one time the value is populated and one time the value is not. Is that Next.js? Yeah, basically, yeah. We're using Blitz.js, which is a wrapper around Next.js. Can I do this? This is going to be a bad idea, right? I feel like this is a bad idea. Let's try it. So it's not a number, yeah. And this time it is a number. John says, you here? Yeah, I'm here. What's up? Thanks for being here. What do you use as a backend? So Blitz.js, like Next.js, is a backend. It's TypeScript is the programming language. Look at your const for foo. I think it will help if you understand that. All right, let's check it out. Yeah, I mean, here we're parsing an integer out of the URL. This is not a foo-specific concern, you might say, because the same issue applies to all 3 parameters. Does that make sense? Should it be enough to affect the party ID change and only handle if the ID if it's not NAM? Let's see. Only handle ID if it's not NAN. But I don't want to only handle ID if it's not NAN. You're using all, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. Yep, yeah, multi-streaming. So this time it will redirect, right? Yeah. So it does it twice even if I have the suspense block. So the suspense block, I don't know that it matters too much, does it? Yeah, this is really a problem because it's server-side rendering, so it should be aware. So this was eventually true, but it was not true on the first pass, which makes it difficult. I could do something that I would consider kind of janky, like check it multiple times or something. Okay, I think we need to go back to validating it on click. So it's eventually correct, but it's not correct on the first pass. All right, let's do it this way. What time is it in Virginia? It's like 4:30. All right, moment of truth. On click. Oh. What is this? Okay, so it wants the on click to be on the child. That's fine. Okay, so that got rid of that warning. That looks good. Party ID is NAN. Boo, tomato. So it's still getting there as undefined. Trick or treat, hit me. Astral Banger, trick or treat. So there's as path, it's right there. Here's party ID 1. That's what I'm trying to get. Oh, okay. Well, this was pretty dumb, wasn't it? Got it. Okay, yeah, it was looking for the key name sPartyID, which is not a thing. So this is an aliasing syntax. I look for party ID and I rename it as party ID. That's kind of weird though, right? So I think the smarter thing to do in this case, let's see. Well, before we do anything, yeah. Maybe we should just make sure it works. Maybe I should just leave it like this. I guess I can just leave it like that. All right, cool. So we go to participants, create participant, and now we finally made it here. All right, great. Go back to the list of participants. This, we want to fix that. That's a next step. Let me clean up this code. There's two other things we need to fix, and that's one of them. Here's the participant ID. No value exists. Why is it letting it be a string there anyway? So here it is a number. I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, so I did not need suspense in this case. Now that this is working, let me try kind of putting it back the way it was. basically, do I need suspense to use the router? Intuitively, I shouldn't. Like, the router should be immediately available. Does that make sense? It's not like the router needs to do sort of asynchronous logic or anything. Next.js all the way, I agree with you. Okay, so we're going to refresh the page, and will it work? It worked. Okay, so I don't need to do this secondary component stuff. Cool, this is cleaner. And it's still saying string or number. Why is it saying that? It's guaranteed to be a number. Oh, I'm so tripping why it says it can be a string or a number right there. Like right here is guaranteed to be a number. I'm thinking it's because, yeah, okay, so in this method, it retypes it basically. That's the reason. And I do think I can do better than this. This syntax is a little weird. So I'm going to do this. I can use the nullish. And do that. That's cleaner, I think. What's the problem you try to handle? Const party ID number. It already is a number. See? I mean, okay. I could be more explicit, but I don't feel like it. The problem we are trying to handle is making sure that we do not get to an invalid create new participant page. So up here in the URL, you see there's an ID of 1, that is the party number 1, but someone could come here and put like banana, and that would be totally fake. So we want to redirect them to the home page. Like that. Okay, so we have the party ID. Let's pass that to the participants list. Here we want to say that you are having party ID. And now I can pass that to right here. Cool. And so now this show participant page thing should work. All right, let's refresh. Memoize your callbacks. Isn't the on-click callback auto-memoized? That's like a micro optimization anyway. Okay, so here we are at participants. Let's create a participant. And now, ooh, look at that URL. Can you see that down there? Party ID is in brackets. Yeah. So that is the new participants. Page. So let's go fix that. Party ID. Is this the problem? It needs party ID right here. Okay. And then this also needs party ID. So I'll specify other participants in this party. List of, or I'll say view other participants in this party. And we did not need this after all. Love deleting code. Okay, so we go parties. Coding party here. The second thing we need to fix is this page. I want it to have, it should do this for us. We're going to type that. 10 minutes? Cool, sounds good. Create participant, other participant. Okay, and now you can see it's working now, finally. I don't know, okay, let's say Billy. Let's try and create Billy. Oh no, party ID is not being passed to the creation mutation. That's okay. Here it is. So we're going to go values, and we are going to append party ID, just like that. So now, now let's go try to create Billy. Bam, and now we have Billy in a pending state. Love that. We go back to participants. So this page is broken, and you can see that in the URL again. Thanks for the follow. Over 3,000 likes, that's awesome. So this is the list of participants page. That is this one. What are you using for form validation? The answer is Zod, Z-O-D. So inside of this mutation, here is the field validation using Zod. And that is built into Blitz.js. Okay, so we created the participant, and this is a participant details page. So participants, a single one, their details page. So this is like the participant details page, right? And there's a participants link. Participants. And I want to say view other participants in this party. Or in this event. Let's call it an event. So this should get a party ID. Now we need to, basically the same thing we've done on the other pages, create our party ID. Use params, let's see. I thought we ended up using the router, right? Yeah, this is kind of the golden implementation, if you will. Okay, so there's the party ID that's passed in. Here we will also give the participant the party ID. I think it's needed, right? Participants page. And this is going to get a party ID. That's pre-validated as a number. Cool. So now this says view other participants in this event. that. We got Billy. We can create a participant, view other so this is working good now. The other thing I wanted to do is from the participant page. Oh, we need to refactor the one page to use this sort of golden implementation here. So is params used for anything? We basically just don't need params. I think that's really the only change there. Otherwise, it's pretty much good to go. This is on the new participant page. Yep, last thing I want to do is from the party page. So we have this party details page. Well, it looks like it's here already. So this party detail page should let me create a participant. It already does. What was missing? I didn't want to type /participants. Right. So from the party details page, here's the party details page. I want a link here that gets me to the list of participants. So we have edit, delete, and I'm going to create another link that says view participants in this event. And that will be the participants page. Cool. So let me go all the way back to the home page. Two parties. What language? Language is TypeScript. So we go to John's coding party, view participants in this event. Edit. I want some kind of a line break there or something. I think that looks better, don't you? Okay, and now that worked flawlessly. Let's delete Billy. That worked too. Let's say John is going to be at John's party, of course. And he's going to be all by himself. Isn't that unfortunate? And so here, I'd like to view the party details page, participants. So here's the participants index, close others. And this is where I'd like to view the party details page. For faster styling, I can recommend Tailwind. Yeah, I'm not really on the Tailwind train yet. We'll see if I ever get there. I'm definitely into atomic styling. Was into that before Tailwind was even a thing. But this app is like basically not styled, as you can tell. I'm kind of okay with that. For now. I mean, we'll get there eventually. It's just not my top priority. But I'm cool with Material UI. So we'll do show party page, and this will be view party or view event details. View event details. Boom. All right, I think that is where we're going to pause for today. Thanks for being here. So let's go over here, commit this massive refactor, basically. So this is going to be feet nested participants and better nav and fixed type error. I guess I'll leave it ambiguous about which type error. I'm going to control AX Come over here to my terminal, Control C to kill the server. I want to commit through the command line. Control V, and then I want to do this so I can pass the no verify flag so that my IDE does not hang on the Husky hooks. Git push, no verify as well. All right, y'all, and that does it for today. Thanks for being here. See you later. Hope you liked it. Hope you'll